So this is the show with the misses on it. And we wanted to talk to Carmen and Marlene because for us, we constantly get, and by the way, both couples are in business together. They're partners. But for us, wherever we're doing interviews, the number one question that comes up constantly is, what is it like to work with your spouse? So that being said, what is it like to work with your spouse? And feel free to say whatever you want to say, Carmen.
Oof.
Trust me, she never holds back.
No pressure. It's definitely a different type of work skills as well when you have your significant other working on the same industry, on the same passions, because we have a way of look at the same thing, but on a different perspective and what the outcome can be. So sometimes that can be a little bit of a challenging because my view may not be the same point of view. And I always like to look at things outside from the field that he's been, which is kind of like where we sometimes have a little bit of a disagreement, but there's nothing better than agree to disagree.
Yeah, that's her favorite line. There's nothing better to agree to disagree. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah. As long as you agree.
Yeah, exactly. She'll disagree. I'll agree with her.
And you're good. You're good for the day. So, Louis, what about you?
Listen, let me tell you something, and I'll put this in a musical term. You know that song, Even Lovers Need a Holiday? Yeah, I appreciate that song to the fullest right now. But no, it's been a great experience. We're together 24/7. But the beauty about it is that we know how to separate when business is done and now it's our time. And at the beginning, it was a little bit of a challenge, and it was something that I used to explain to her that I don't bring business home at all, whether it was radio, it was anything that I was doing. And now being in business together, it's been a learning curve for both of us, right? That even you're on 24/7. It doesn't matter. Even if you want to take a day for yourself, there's always business that pops off. But at the end of the day, once we shut it down, it's our time, and that's what we do. So, but it's been challenging. I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat it. You always have your disagreements, but you always find middle ground and whatever works best for what your mission is. And our team is number one, and she's number one in my team, and I'm number one in her team, and that's how we look at it. Now we know you guys have been working together for the longest. Yeah. And I know Al's personality. Marlene, how has it been transitioning from the working world to working together with Al?
It has its moments. No, I'm only kidding. No.
No, she's not. Honest,
we know.
To be honest, it's great because we're so different. And I know a lot of people would say, well, that's not good. No, actually, it is good. Because we're different, we approach the same thing from two different ways. And then the challenge is finding the middle ground, but we always end up finding it somehow. If we were exactly the same, then you would never be able to see the problems because you're seeing everything exactly the same way. But if you see it differently, you could catch little things here and there. And so it ends up working for us that we are very different. I'm very mellow. Well, you know me. Yes. I'm mellow. That's just my personality. I tend to be mellow. You have to do a lot to really upset me. But when I'm upset, then I'm really upset because it takes to get there. Whereas Al is a bit more.
Let's go. Let's do it. Let's go. Let's do it. I don't like to discuss forever. It's like, what do we need to do? And let's go. But that's good because sometimes I'll rein him in sometimes, and then sometimes he'll push me. So that's how we're able to work. Yeah. I think for my side, what amazes me more is how she goes forward with things that I do stop. And I know this sounds funny, but I watch her and say, oh my God, how is she doing it that way? I could never do it that way. And then as I watch her do it, I admire it but I say to myself, no, there's no way you could do it like that. But that's what I admire about her, that she's that very, very calm, but yet she gets things done. Where I'm, as Marlene said, I'm more to the point. Let's go. What do we have to do? And then we save maybe the lovey-dovey stuff for later. But when we're working, this is our goal. We both get to where we want to get to, like you guys do. We just take different streets in order to get there. And there's sometimes that it's very amusing, especially when things maybe that day is a little bit more difficult. And how do we communicate with each other?
We have this. How do you know who's stronger in one part of your business and who's stronger in the other part of the business, and how you separate the responsibilities?
For what I've learned, well, Carmen comes from the court fields, and she's very well organized, and she runs a really, really tight ship. And then I think us in the entertainment industry, I think it's a little bit more relaxed, and we're kind of used to, like, they blow us off. You got a 10 o'clock meeting, it means 11 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've balanced each other very well. I know she gets frustrated with me a couple of times because, she's always at the bridge or at the other side while I'm just looking at the bridge sometimes. But I think I think that's what helps us balance. And sometimes it might take me, like you were saying, it might take Marlene a little bit longer or a different route to get achieve the same goal. And that's where we're still learning at it. Is she would go at it one way and I would go at it in another way. It doesn't mean that one is better or worse than the other one. It's just we arrive at the same destination, just in different ways. And she gets a little bit aggravated with me on a daily basis.
And we should, we've been talking about this for a few minutes to let people know that who are just tuning in that Louis and Carmen are in the cigar business, and they have a wonderful cigar lounge down in Florida, and Marlene and I are in the movie business. So I've walked in to see their shop a few days ago with Marlene and see how they run it. So if you're wondering, well, what business are you both in? That's where we are. But Carmen, the floor is yours.
I do run a tight ship, so I do expect a lot. But it's because, like you mentioned, I'm always at the bridge. When I'm at the bridge, I already have plan A, B, and C. I don't want to be surprised and be, taken that here I am and we're not prepared. I don't like that because I feel like it's a waste of time. Time is money. And like he mentioned, he don't like to bring work at home. And I want to say 90% of the time I do. Because while we're at home, I'll be talking, hey, this is going on or that's going on. And I just apply it so then we can relax and I can get it off my head, off my shoulder. That's my way to wind down.
Well, once we walk in through the door, it's our time. And it's something that you give and take a little bit. And she's learned a little bit from me is that, once we walk into our home, that's our domain. All problems are left behind. Plus there's, at 11 o'clock at night, there's nothing that I'm resolving.
We have a thing where we say 6 o'clock, the office is closed. I mean, we may fudge 6, might be 6:30, 7, but the bottom line is we're saying that at a certain time, that's it. No more business.
Correct.
Because we're together all the time, and if we're working on a project, we may be working out of our home office or on a set, and we're always together. So there has to be a time where you have to say, okay, that's it. The project is put aside for tomorrow. The office is closed. That is the biggest challenge.
I think that with us, and I'm sure you guys go through the same thing, when a husband and wife works in different businesses and they come home, it's really fresh for them to say, okay, where are we going tonight? Let's we're just going out. With us, we make a point, and I'm sure you guys have been through this, that you make a point that we're going out tonight or we're going here tonight. to not discuss anything but maybe the restaurant or where we're eating or, where we're having a drink, because what most people don't realize is the high level of burnout
Yes.
that you have working not only together, but the high level of burnout that your job is your business,
Mhm.
and that business must continue to move forward. So there are times that I don't think I'm alone on this with all four of us, but there are times I roll over in the middle of the night, 3 o'clock in the morning, and I am not thinking of something as, oh, I got to take care of this tomorrow. So that sometimes there's never a shut off. So you have to make it. We're just going out, and that's it. Which is the challenge. What frustrates you? One of the things, anyway, about the other personality.
Yeah,
Meaning,
keep it to one, Al. Keep it to one.
Yeah.
Your list is long.
Can I answer this one first?
Yes, please.
Oh my God!
I'm gonna
Oh my goodness!
Go ahead.
Should I leave?
I guess again it's my personality. I don't get frustrated by little things. I don't get angry at little things. They just literally wash off. Little things don't bother me. I look at the big picture.
Mhm.
I guess that's my storytelling, because when I start to assemble a story, I have to look at the entire story from the beginning, the middle, and the end. So I look at everything in a wider perspective. So I look at things that are really big, and those things upset me. Al's a little different. Al is more, he will be upset by the little things. And I have to sort of say, it in the grand scheme of things, it's not that big. It's actually small. Think about it. And then it takes him a while, usually a day or two. And then after he's thought about it, he's like, yeah. That is the biggest frustration, is that I want him to start not looking at the little things, but look at the big things that in the grand scheme of life, of projects, of everything,
Mhm.
are really important. Little things, they're just
Yep.
nuisances.
So
Correct.
let me jump in defense. So
Yeah, I'm sure I
so
have my stuff too.
so the little things that would bother me, so to speak, is how many times they've been repeated over and over and over again. So there is a reason as to why are you bothered about that. And the simple little reason is because we've gone over this, not her and I, but whatever the situation is. If someone comes to me and tells me, again, in the entertainment business, you don't get 3 and 4 shots, you get one.
Correct.
And if you don't deliver on that one, you're out. So when you are trained from a very young age to, you either hit the ball or you're out. It's just the way it is. Now that might be cold, but that's the way it is.
Mhm.
So for me to continue to go to someone and repeat the same thing over and over again, or allow the same thing to happen over and over again, in my defense, I just don't want any part of that. And that,
All right, but you're
that's
being
why.
political right now. What is it about Marlene specifically?
Well, that's what it is.
That's what it
That's
is.
what it is. So if he tells me something over
I
and
might
over,
have to say something to you. Zeb. Why are you letting this happen over and over again? And then in the middle of her explaining it to me, the other side will click on. And in all honesty, I say, man, I wish I could do that, but I can't. And I'm sure you guys have that same
We
thing.
do.
That
We do. And in our end, it's reverse. I am the go constantly. Can't let things go. Will spark up immediately. And Luis is more than like, it's okay. We'll get there. Don't frustrate yourself. Don't look
Yeah.
at the little things. But I can't, because I'm such a detailed person that I oversee everything. So
Mhm.
it is hard for me not to acknowledge something that it's there in front of me. Like, how can I not address it? How can I not do anything about it?
see, that's Al as a female. See,
Yes,
I see nothing wrong with that, Carmen.
Yeah.
yes, I agree. And Luis is more like, but we are a team, and he this is the thing. Could be a level 20 and he could be a level 2. And
Mhm.
somehow he managed to bring me down and be paired with him. How he does it, I don't know. Kudos to him because he has the patience I don't have.
Yeah.
I have to be very honest.
I think throughout the years, I've just learned to control, because before I used to go from 0 to 60 extremely quick. And I just learned how to, I think only twice she's seen me go to 0 to 100 in a split second. Yeah. So, and I don't like that about myself. So I've learned to not get upset and not, you know, it's a cliche to say not to sweat the small stuff, but it is, you got to really practice it. And, but we balance each other well. And it's great because I'm hearing what you guys are saying. And I feel like I'm Marlene in the relationship and Carmen is Al.
Yeah.
And you know what the crazy thing is? Even though I'm like you in the sense of I'm more like mellow, yet I am the one who takes care of all the minutia in the business, which is crazy. Almost, I'm the one who does all the tech stuff, and I take care of all like the little things in the business and in our personal life. Yet you would think it'd be the opposite, but I guess because I am even keel, I can handle the little things when problems come along a little bit better.
I find myself walking away from the little things for the simple reason is I have no time for this little jib jab, and I walk away. I explore and I'm very relaxed in the bigger things that happen. And if there's a bigger problem, or the best is if there's a bigger challenge, and I will get that done. Where I think the little tedious stuff that I would lose my mind if I had to do that. She excels in that. To where, as I said to you before, to me it's like stop with that little stuff. Where give me the big picture.
We complement each other very well on different tasks, and I want to say personally, I am better at handling a lot of the business aspect, and he is really good that if there's a meeting, I'll be like, hey, this is going on, and he will tackle that conversation in the first meetup. Vice versa, there's a lot of things behind the scene that he's really good at. The humidor, for example, he goes like 500 times in there. I will not think of that. And that's a big, major part of it, because that's where our product is.
We're both producers, so we have to agree on how are we going to produce this movie. But then there's another side of the street, is that if she's the director, she is my boss. She is the boss on the set. And when I'm an actor on the set and she's directing, the bottom line is I do know the difference of, okay, she just gave you a note, whatever it is. It doesn't matter if it's my wife or it's another director. You have to respond accordingly to that director.
I'll tell you, I'm going to give him a lot of props.
What? Say this again.
When it comes to being on the set and I'm directing and he's acting, he knows how to separate. He knows these are two different roles that we're playing. We're not at that moment producers. We are a director and an actor. And he's taken my direction. He's listened to, when we discuss character, also as the writer, how I see the character, and he's been very, very good about that. And that's saying a lot, because I'm sure there are situations where those lines could get blurred, and someone will say, well, you don't tell me how to do this. He's not at all like that. He will listen. He knows that at that moment I'm the director and he's the actor, and he's going to listen to my direction.
I've heard those words before.
I don't think that steered you wrong.
No. But in all honesty, when we were doing Standoff, every one of the actors came over to me quite a few times, kidding around, going, so how's it feel to have your wife as the boss? And then walk away. And, they're teasing, but you have to, there's a very thin line between rudeness and respect.
Correct.
And you have to make sure that you don't cross that line in a professional manner. I guess my question would be to both of you is, how do you resolve a disagreement in business?
I walk away.
Questions too.
You
I
walk
walk
away?
away.
you walk away. You still, yeah, but you still have to resolve it at
Well,
some point.
You know, I'll walk away because she goes from 0 to 100 very quick, right? Myself being a Leo, I could go to 0 to 100 very quick. So I know that there's something that we need to resolve, and because it is,
We both
my
know how to
life
shut
partner and everything. So I know if I'm at 100, I might say something that
Yeah.
just I don't mean, and so that's why she's like, man, I used to hear stories from you how you used to be just 0 to 100. I'm like, yeah, but I used to say a lot of stuff I never meant, but
Yeah.
I didn't care about these people, right? It was business. It was just like, all right, I needed to get stuff done. Boom, X, Y, Z, let's go. Now it's different. Now it's
Mhm.
our product. It's our thing that we're working for. So if I know she hit 0 to 100, I don't even hear what she's saying. I was like, I'll just walk away. And then once
Okay.
everybody calms down a little bit, then we'll talk about it. And I'll be like, hey, don't get upset. Let me tell you my side of the fence. So then we can look at from your side of the fence, and then we'll come together and we'll create a happy medium. And it happens the other way around. I've written some replies to some emails that I just leave on draft.
Yep.
And I'm like, you
Not
need to
allowed to President.
I'm like, can you please read this and make it politically correct?
So Carmen, what's your method?
Honestly, he's right. He walks away.
Yeah, that's our method. I walk away.
I'll walk away. Maybe not right away. Argue a little, scream a little bit, and then I'll like get very quiet
Yes.
and just let the argument play out. And once it plays out, then we can come back and have a real discussion. But we let it play out. Sometimes,
Mhm.
you have a lot of stress. We have a lot of stress. There's a lot of pressure. Sometimes it's just good to get it out. Just let it go, get it all out.
Mhm.
Take a breather, kind of like in a boxing match.
Yeah.
And then go to your corners and stay in the corners for a little while.
Yeah,
And then you can come back and discuss. My background is from diplomacy. My undergraduate was international affairs, and I interned at the United Nations, and I was around a lot of these very high level diplomats. And I was interning for a very important diplomat at the United Nations, and I learned from him. He had a very calm demeanor about him when he spoke. He spoke very gently. This man had been to these war zones and had negotiated these settlements with biological weapons and this and that, and yet he had this kind of like way of talking. And I guess I come from that diplomatic world where I kind of just go quiet, separate, let it simmer a little bit, and then we can come back and discuss.
I'm still learning, and I'm having the hardest time not bringing work at home, because in my world, I don't have room for failing. I
exactly.
don't have room to make a mistake. I don't see myself starting all over again.
Mhm.
So it's a lot of pressure that I put in myself. And then I know when I do that, I put pressure on him, because now it's like, we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do this.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think all this pressure, all this stress from work in a regular life gets together, that when something little happens and one of us take it the wrong way and we get overwhelmed, it takes longer for us to calm down. But at some point it clicks and you realize, what the hell are we doing?